We wanted to sort of take, you know, what you think of as a British kind of bar brawl and infuse it with that speed and invention that you get in the Asian films. And, you know, that comes from Brad Allen, who's a choreographer, has, like, you know, worked and trained with Jackie Chan for years and comes out of Jackie Chan's stunt school and is part of his stunt team. So it has that kind of level of, like, speed and, you know, furiousness and invention, but at heart it's still like you're watching something that could erupt at your local bar, you know. That's the idea, at least.
Brad's fight choreography is just so inventive and dynamic, and his work with Damien Waters as well, and James Harris and the stunt crew, you know, they're so smart in terms of what they're coming up with for us to do. I've trained really hard for this movie. I started training really whilst I was doing Star Trek 2. I started training with a trainer in LA, knowing that I would eventually be doing this film towards the end of the year, and carried on training with a trainer here in Hertfordshire when I got back.
We worked so hard on choreographing, or Litsa Bitzer and the lovely Brad Allen worked so, and well, the whole stunt team, we spent so much time with them pre-production. And I really think, you know, the fact I'd come off of a year of dancing on Cuban Fury helped that process. But the fight scene, the big fight scene in the pub, where I have the stools for fists, where I kind of self-coined myself the Pink Hulk. That was fantastic. I love doing that. And once I kind of got over the fact that the stuntmen seem to enjoy it more the harder you hit them, I kind of enjoyed it a lot more, you know. Certainly me and Simon we're of that same character where we want the stuntmen to be impressed by us slightly, you know what I mean? We like doing all our own stunts, or as many as we can do, you know.
Well, as always with stunts, you know, from an actor's point of view, there's only so much you are going to do, so much you're asked to do, and so much you will volunteer to do anyway, you know. So if you're physically able, then you're able to sort of busk your way through a choreographed fight, and then as soon as it comes to being thrown across a table or through a window, then you hand over to your stunt double. And I'm very happy to hand over to my double, Christian, if there's ever real pain to be encountered.
Sometimes with stuntmen and stunt fights, you lose the character in the choreography. You know, there becomes a kind of stock way of fighting, regardless of the character you are. But these guys incorporate character in the story, so the fights, you don't leave the characters behind. It enhances the character and it enhances the audience appreciation of the character.
I'll tell you who's really impressed me. Nick is amazing at action sequences. He's just brilliant. It's just so funny and powerful, and it's probably all the training in Cuban Fury has made him amazingly deft on his feet. He's fantastic. I love watching Nick do his action sequences.
They are the best stunt team I've ever worked with. I couldn't believe them, how brilliant they were. Apart from Brad, all the lads are from up near where I live. They're up in Derby, and I didn't even know Damien was up there. I didn't know he was capable of superhuman feats, you know. If you ever see a show reel, it's like mind-blowing. But and a great thing about them as well is they make it very safe, they make it very comfortable. They're great guys. If you get a knock, it's cool, you know, you get up and crack on with it. They're just safe and brilliant to be around. And also, I think they realised, in what I think sort of sense with me was that they kind of saw what kind of style I was most comfortable with, because there was a lot of like moves and, you know, trying to replicate some odd kung fu punches or whatever the technique may be. But I think they sensed that I you know, my thing was in throwing like some nice big David haymakers, you know, in the bar and stuff, and more of a brawling style. So they adapted that to the stunt routines. So that when I was in the bar, you know, it was basically planting your feet and sending off some big shots and everything and knocking them out. And I think that was from them seeing that, hey, look, he sells a right hand really well, so let's go with that. So they're brilliant. They're the best. It's been great having them around and working with them.